So, welcome back to the channel. You're back with the retired Roadman, and this is the video I've been actually most excited to make. It is, who am I? Who is the retired Roadman? Where did the name come from? What am I doing? Where am I going? Where have I been? All of the answers to all of the questions that I'm sure you guys have. The first thing is, what is a retired roadman? Or what is a roadman, should I say? I'm sure there's a lot of people around the world in different countries that aren't familiar with what a roadman is. Actually have the official Collins definition here. Some people use roadman to refer to a young person who spends a lot of time on the streets in a group, or who may be involved in selling drugs. Now, I'm not going to incriminate myself here on camera, but that's the lifestyle I was living. You know, I'm 26 years old now. My name's Simeon Keenan. Full government docs, god damn. That's why you call me SK. It's my initials, of course. We use the word roadman in England. It's a very, very common term for someone who's on the streets, you know, doing bad stuff, in with the wrong crowd, doing the things you shouldn't be doing. And prior to the life that I've created for myself now, that was the lifestyle I was living. I've now got 2 little boys, just moved into my new apartment. I've been self-employed for just over a year now. I haven't worked a normal job for about a year and a half. I was doing a kind of door-to-door selling before this, and that kind of opened my mind into being self-employed and not working for someone. But my sons are, 5 years old and 3 years old, and gonna be 6 and 4 this year, which is crazy to even think. And if you do the math, me being 26, my son's gonna be 6 this year. I was 21 when I had my first son, and that was really the game changer. You know, the lifestyle I was living, the people I was hanging around with, it was not the life that was going to benefit me or my children in any way. Prior to this, a bit of an earlier backstory. I've always knew that I was gonna be something bigger than just the average person. From the age of probably 16, I think my earliest memory of like this kind of talk is, I remember being in college, probably like 17, being on the bus, going on the bus to college, and just looking around and seeing 30, 40, 50, 60-year-olds on the bus. And it would really confuse me as to how you could live such a long life and not have made anything of it. There's so much vast amount of money in the world. How could these people still be riding the bus at this age? Now, I want to make it very clear, when I'm talking, I'm not trying to speak down on anyone. If you're a shelf stacker and you enjoy stacking shelves, if you enjoy cleaning the streets, if you enjoy working a normal job, what even is a normal job, but let's say you enjoy a normal job, there is nothing wrong with that lifestyle at all. I believe in being happy is the main thing. If you're happy doing the mundane, normal, I don't want to say mundane because it almost, again, still sounds like I'm talking down it, but if you're happy living the life that you live and you don't want to push and strive for something better, I can't say it's a great decision, but it's your decision, it's your life at the end of the day. And I guess this is a big advocator of what I am about. It's your life, it's your decision, but there's a path that you can take that will lead you to a better life, guaranteed. You have to do things you don't want to do. But anyway, we'll get into that anyway. Very early on in my life, I realised I wasn't going to be the average person or someone special, someone unique. I wasn't like anyone else, is what I'm trying to say. I've never really fit into a crowd. I've never really fit into a group. I've always kind of been the standout, lone wolf, been on my own. The black sheep, almost the black sheep. I've only got one sibling, an older brother who's 13 years older than me. With that in mind, at the age of 16, I already knew that I wasn't like other people. I was researching how to make money, stock markets. Also, I was very intrigued by the Illuminati. I don't even know if I should be saying this, but I was very intrigued by the government, what really goes on behind the scenes, and all that kind of business as well. So I've always been quote unquote quite woke and aware to the other things that are going on in the world, and it's always been very interesting to me, and I've always felt like we're being lied to. But anyway, let's not also go down that path as well, but I'm kind of giving you a backstory of as I was young and the kind of mentality that I had, the group of people I was hanging around with, the lifestyle I was living, the attitude that I had, all the tendencies to be going on the wrong path. But the lifestyle I was living, selling drugs on the roads, car chases, police chases, I was going down a straight track for either jail or death. There's only 2 options. And I'm sure there's a lot of people who are watching this video that are in the same position now. And you don't know what to do. All your friends are doing the same shit. None of them have got any kind of direction or any kind of different thought process. It's almost like they're all sheeps as well. And I just knew that I could do better than that. I knew that I could be better than that. So having my son at the age of 21 matured me very early. It made me realise that life wasn't just about me anymore, it was about this child. And I guess that's where I'm very lucky in that sense, because if it wasn't for my son, then God knows, really, you can't say. There was an incident that happened just before my son was born, and this is actually a fake tooth, and this is a half fake tooth. So I got into an altercation. I won't go into the full details, but I got into an altercation with this crackhead and ended up getting bricked in the face, like a house brick. I don't know what most houses are like in America, but in the UK we have brick houses, like brick and mortar. So I got bricked in the face. I've got a scar on my forehead, I got a scar on the lip, and 2 fake teeth from that altercation. Now, what I did in that situation, if I wasn't bricked, would have put me in jail for a long time. I probably could have gone down on an AM or an M charge. I'm almost thankful for that fucked up situation and being bricked in my face and almost being humbled, almost being slightly humbled by a crackhead, which is mad embarrassing. But the moral of the story is, if I would have done what I went down to do to that person, I'd be in jail right now for a very fucking long time. I would have never been able to see my son. I would not have the life I've got right now. So I'm very fortunate. Again, it was another defining moment in my life that really changed the way I thought and the way that I saw life. I realised that if I wanted to watch my son grow up, if I wanted to have and be a part of his future, then I'd have to make a big change. So I think this is where, the mentality started to come in. How can I start to make money? How can I be financially free? How can I improve my mindset? How can I improve my lifestyle? How can I improve everything about myself to improve everything about my life? It was just after the first lockdown, and I've been researching on YouTube about mentality. One thing we forget is there's such a vast amount of knowledge on YouTube, in books, on audio, just on the internet. Like, people didn't have this luxury back in the 80s or the 60s and 70s. We have such a huge variety of knowledge at our fingertips, yet we'd rather sit on Instagram and TikTok and scroll and watch other people's lives and be depressed that our lives aren't as good as theirs, because they actually spent the time while you weren't watching, while none of us were watching, and read the books, watched the videos, went to the gym, did the hard shit, and now they have the life that they're able to live. It's almost the same as what people see of me now, but a lot of people have seen my journey through Snapchat. But anyway, the YouTube videos I would search is like how to improve my mind, how to make money, and then I'd take advice from one video, and then I'd research something that they say in that video, and then research something else in another video. And meditation was a big one for me. I'd meditate a lot. And I remember just after the lockdown, I was kind of manifesting and learning about manifestations and, really trying to get in the mindset of like, I'm going to like manifest abundance and, bring opportunity to me. And I remember I'd worked in various jobs already. My very first job was a barista at Starbucks. That was like in college time. I'd worked as a mostly warehouse. I worked in DHL, Krispy Kremes, in the factory making the donuts. I'd worked a bunch of shit jobs. Five Guys was honestly one of my favourite jobs. If anyone who's working at the Five Guys or who sees me, recognises me from Five Guys, shout out you, but also fuck you as well. No, I'm playing. But Five Guys was one of the best jobs because it gave me a lot of freedom. If anyone's been to Five Guys and you see how the kitchen is, it's just open, you're just whipping it up, chefing it up, and I'd be like mini rocking, dancing and stuff, and you can really talk to the customers. And I've always been a very confident person. I've never been someone who's been like shy and introvert and can't talk to people. I really enjoy talking to people. So the lockdown came. I'd already had previous experience working in a few different jobs. I wanted something better, and I was manifesting this job. I was like, I'm manifesting money, but to get money, I need a job. So let me manifest a job. And I remember this so well. I was like, cool, money, to get money, I need a job. So let me manifest a job instead of manifesting money, because it's not just like, 10K or 100K is gonna fall in my lap. Like I need to move the needle. So I remember, manifesting this job, and I'll be meditating and I'll be working out, and I do this Bruce Lee workout where I do like a bunch of punches and a bunch of kicks and a bunch of press-ups, and I do it like 5 times a day, and my son would be there with me as well, and he'd be doing the press-ups as well. And one day I got this email from a guy who said he'd found my CV, and a CV is like a resume. It said, you know, I like reading books by Napoleon Hill, I researched Gary Vee, all the kind of stuff that shows I've got that entrepreneur mindset. And this guy said he found my resume and he reached out to me and he was like, look, and bearing in mind, it is kind of like a pyramid scheme. It was like, this was the door-to-door job that I started, which I think really kind of cemented that self-employment, being your own boss status. He reached out to me and he was like, look, I want to get you on a call. It seems like you're a really great guy. I've read your resume. It seems like you've really got the mindset that we could really use and mold. So I was like, cool. At this time, me and my son's mother, we had a big fallout. So I ended up not living there anymore and basically becoming homeless in the middle of getting ready for this, this job interview. Luckily, I've got a great friend you all know. You seen him in the first vlog, Eddie. He's an incredible guy. And luckily at the time, his dad had an empty house. It was literally like a shell. All that was in the house was like one table. The hot water was on. Obviously, I had the cooker and all the appliances. So I had electric, I had gas, I had hot water. That's all I had. And basics, And I was broke. Dead broke. I had no income. I was basically living off him. I remember I took a loan out from 118 and I'd already had a loan a couple of previous years ago and I'd paid it off. It was like one of those perfect things that happened. Like an email came through and they were like, we can offer you another loan and give you like two grand extra. So I was like, what the fuck else am I gonna do? Like I need at least like some money to live on. So I remember I think it was like a 3.5 grand loan that I took out. And I was pretty much living on that and on my friend's money. I had phone contracts to pay off. I had internet bills to pay from previous places that I'd lived at. I was in a bad fucking place. But one thing, no matter how shit it got, I never fucking doubted the fact I would make it. And I haven't made it yet. I'm far from made it. Like when I say I never doubted that I'd make it, I mean like I'd never doubt that I could make it through that situation. Like no matter how shit it got, I never like lost hope. Like yeah, it got shit. Yeah, it was bad. But I always knew I'd make it through this situation. Like I'd never go backwards, I'd only go forwards. And even if I had to take one step back to go 3 steps forward, then I'd do that. So I was living in this empty shell. I literally had, 6 bags full of clothes, a sleeping bag on the floor. If I can find the pictures and the videos, I'll post them up. And yeah, I was, you could say homeless. I mean, I had a home. But essentially, I was homeless. I had no TV, I had no internet, I had a phone bill I had to pay for, and I had absolutely no income coming in. And yeah, I had a roof over my head. That was the luckiest thing. There was times where I was homeless. There's times where I've slept on the street. There's times where I've had no roof over my head, but this was not one of those times, luckily. I was still reading, I was still meditating, I was still putting myself in that mindset that I was gonna succeed. And I had the interview, and I'm in this, this empty house, but I didn't have any smart clothes. So I was doing all my interviews in just a plain blue Nike t-shirt. And me and this guy were talking, and I was telling him about my life, and I was telling him about what I want to achieve, and how I've got a little boy now, and I want to change my life and do a lot better. Long story short, I ended up securing the job. He said, come into the office, we'll get you set up. And I remember coming into the office, and this is another good memory that I've got. I remember I came into the office wearing a big blue duffel coat, a full tracksuit, and some Nike trainers. Every single other person in the office was suit and tie, full suit, nice shoes. I was like, this is not gonna happen. And I was like, bro, I'm so sorry. I just haven't got any good stuff. And he was like, bro, I don't care about what you're wearing. I care about what you've got in here. And he helped me at the very start really put my mind in the right place and put me around good people that really helped my mindset. So this job that I was starting was a full commission, no basic, door-to-door selling. I think I had £300 left in my bank, and I think I spent 265 of that on a suit. Don't know why I didn't just go buy a fucking normal suit, but of course, me being the fucking idiot, I went to Moss Bros, bought like 2 suits, 2 shirts, and ended up spending like $250, and I left myself with like nothing. I remember they was like, yeah, well, once, if you buy it, keep the receipts at the end of the year. But I didn't hear the end of the year bit. He was like, keep the receipts and, we'll refund it for you. So I'm like, cool, fuck it, I'll spend $260. I didn't end up getting the $260 back because it's the end of the financial tax year. Anyway, that was the start of a new journey for me. Beginning to do door-to-door selling, it was hard, very hard. The hardest thing was hearing the no's. Being told no is one of the most hurtful things you can hear as a human being. No one likes to get told no. You can see a child, when a child gets told no, screaming, crying on the floor. So when you're an adult, you can learn to control those emotions a bit better. but the hurt still hits the same, especially when you're trying to do something. When I say it was a pyramid scheme, I was actually still trying to do something positive for these people. I was still trying to get them a better deal, cut their electric gas, whatever I could do. I was still trying to do them a better deal. So when you're trying to help people and they're like, no, I don't care, don't even want to hear it, it still hurts. You lose your attitude. So doing door-to-door selling, I would recommend to as many people as possible, purely for the reason, if you're not a confident person and you want to break that kind of cycle and break out of your comfort zone, door-to-door selling is a fucking great way to do it. Now, it's not for everyone. It's not like, you just have to go out and if you haven't got confidence, you're going to do door-to-door and then you're going to magically get confidence. But it's going to put you in a situation where you're going to be faced every day with a new person behind every single door that you knock. You're going to be out there on your own for hours and hours. It really fucking tests the mentality of a person. And I ended up becoming, one of the best salesmen in the office. In a very short time, we went on a load of road trips to different cities. So we'd go to like Wales, a bunch of places. I can't even remember. It was quite a while ago now. We'd hit the office. We'd have a morning meeting. We'd all like get each other hyped up, there'd be music blasting, and we'd just be fired the fuck up. It was an incredible atmosphere. Like everyone around you has the same goals, everyone around you has the same mindset. We all want to get to the same goal of being like an owner and owning our own, agency or business, and you thrive. You just thrive in that environment. And I was surrounded by great people. Like I say, I ended up becoming one of the best salesmen in the office. Ended up hitting, £800 to £1,000 in a week just before COVID. And I was on track to really, really succeed. Unfortunately, things happened and, I ended up separating and going separate ways. But prior to this, I'd made some investments, as I was starting to make, better money every week. And bearing in mind, this is fully commission. So what you go out and make on that day is what you come home with. If you go out and do no sales, you're going home with no money whatsoever. That was a big driver as well. You're out there in a suit, in the fucking rain, in the cold, or whatever it is, and you're knocking on people's door, and if you don't get that fucking sale at the end of the day, at least one, your owner's going to be pissed off. Two, you're going to be pissed off because you got to go back out there and do the same tomorrow, but you've also got to make up for yesterday because you didn't make any money. So there was a lot at stake. We'd be knocking till 7 p.m. at night. In the UK, it's 5 o'clock now and it's pitch black outside. So you can imagine what it was like. We'd be knocking doors. People would be like, "What the fuck are you doing? Like, it's 7 o'clock at night. Like, I don't want to buy electric and gas now. Like, the fuck?" But some people would. And that was the mentality. It was, you had to keep the same attitude every single door you knocked. Because you never know when the green light is going to be behind the door. You never know who's going to be the yes. So if you hit the door and the last guy just told you to fuck off, but the next door's a green light, you don't know it's a green light, and you knock that door and you're like, "Yo, what's good? Like, I'm trying to sell gas and electric." They're going to be like, "Bro, like, I really could do with some better gas and electric, but I don't want to fucking buy it from you sack of shit." So you had to keep that, that happy, fired up mentality that you're ready to fucking go. But the lessons that I learned and the business mentality that I gained has set me up massively. But it helped a lot. It definitely helped a lot in pushing me in the right direction. Anyway, as I said, so I was starting to make some good investments. Again, I was always looking into ways, how can I make more money? Like, I'm already doing pretty well, but how can I make more money? So I was looking into crypto, I was looking into NFTs, I was looking into stocks, I was looking to Warren Buffett, Elon Musk. I was like, how the fuck do I get from where I am now to 50k? Like, how do I get to that kind of wealth? Warren Buffett was a big one. I started with stocks. Stocks was one of my very first investments before I did anything. I was still very early on in my investment stage. Invested in a few stocks. I had a trading 212 account. I was looking at, how do you buy a good stock? What's a good stock? What's a bad stock? I saw my 50 go to like 55, 58, 65, 70, and I was like, holy shit, I'm not even doing anything and the money's moving up. This is insane. And the stock we had, it was supposed to be like the Chinese Tesla. We were like fired up. We were like, this is gonna fucking rip. Like, we need to start putting more money in it. Like, if we can see this money's already moving from 50, imagine we put like 100 in every week. So then we put like 100 in, and then we put like 200 in, and we were just watching it grow. It got to a point where I think I had like maybe 800 in stocks. And then another thing happened. GME. Anyone who's familiar with the stock market will know about GME. GME happened. We liked the stock. GME was a stock that was being shorted by a bunch of small investors. The stock basically went from like ready to fucking go bankrupt to like $360 fucking dollars. And in that gap, we invested a lot. So we were at like 1,800, and I just sold all my stocks and put it all into GME with this 1,000 as well. So I was like 1,800 deep in GME. As I'd made my stock move, I'd done it while the stock market was closed and I didn't use like an OTC site. So when this motherfucker opened in the morning and my position hit, my 1,800 hit at the pico top of that $365, and the next day, or that instant when the market opened, boom, 340, 300, 260, 220, and my 1,800 was just fucking gone. Like, it was going. I was like, oh my god, we gotta hold. We have to hold now. Long story short, GME fucked us up. We tried to chase the quick money, didn't work. After GME, while I was still making good money, I'd also put a little bit aside in Shiba and Dogecoin, and a fairly decent amount. And I remember Elon dropping some very lucrative tweets about Shiba and Doge. The price just went, it just popped. I was very fortunate to have made a medium-sized bag off those investments. I said, fuck it, I don't want to do this door-to-door shit. Like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not getting what I'm supposed to be getting from this. So with the money that I banked, you know, I was like, I'm ready to go trading. Like, I'm a full-time motherfucking trader. Like, we got GME, Shiba, Doge. Like, I'm ready for this trading shit. Like, this is where the money's at. Like, I see, you know, like, I see it. Like, this is where the money's at. So started learning my trading. NFTs started really popping. I was really getting into the NFTs. Gary Vee was talking about these NFTs a lot. And I remember, you know, Gary Vee talks about something. Anything Gary talks about, it was flying. I started educating myself more on NFTs. Why is it an NFT, a non-fungible token? My friend from Sweden found a project and he was like, I just thought of you when I seen this NFT. It was called Faceless. Huge rug. There's something about the energy that I bring when I'm fired up about something that's like, you just can't contain this energy. I went into their Discord and the mint price was like 0.6 maybe, at like pico each, like 3.5K. Like, this motherfucker was expensive. And I was really firing up their community. So I ended up becoming a moderator. The team ended up seeing, you know, this guy, SK, he's always got the Discord jumping. He's always replying to people. He's always having conversations. Like, I was like a Discord fucking dog. Then I was the community manager. Long story short, I'm not going to go into the details of it, but they ended up lying, saying they were bringing out tickets to some fashion show and all this bullshit, and it was just an absolute scam. These are all learning experiences. These are all experiences that helped me grow towards my journey. I got the Discord moderation experience. So once the project rugged and I was left as the front man, basically I was left as the only man left on the front line to answer the community. People, where the fuck's the founders? We've invested thousands of dollars into this. What's going on? You're to blame. You knew what was going on. You knew the founders. I was like, I don't know shit. I don't know who they are. I've been in a call with them like fucking 5 times. Like, I don't know shit. And I just got to the end of it and I was like, look, I added everyone in the Discord. I was like, this is a fucking scam. They've fucked all of us. They've fucked me. They've fucked you. And then miraculously, he turned up at announcements and he kicked me out of the Discord and all this bollocks. And he never delivered anything. It was a total scam. But anyway, I was like, fuck Ethereum. I'm going over to Solana. Solana's way cheaper, no gas. I ended up getting into a project called Demon Time. The project I'd kind of found my way in again. And again, I'd kind of, you know, used my personality, fired up the Discord, fired up these people. And yeah, they were like, yo, we want you to be, you know, the front man. We want you to be kind of like the CM or whatever. You know, we want you to be like the main man. So I was like, cool, you know, I can do this. I never got paid from it. Never got paid for any of these roles, by the way. Not the first one that got rugged or this Solana role even, never got paid. I just love doing it, you know. For me, it's not about the money. It's about bringing value. It's about being able to connect to people. It's about having a network. It's about expanding my own network and showing people the value. If I can run a project for a month, 2 months, 3 months, 5 months, 6 months, whatever it is, and do it well, then I've proved myself and people know the value that I'm able to bring. Demon Time didn't end up working out. I started to merge back to Ethereum. I started to see Fishy Fam. Fishy Fam was like really a cool project I was really starting to enjoy, and I love their artwork, I love everything about it. I was in like this group of people, we had like this group, and they used to call me KSI because I'm from England and I'm black. Sounds mad racist now. So they used to call me KSI. In Fishy Fam, you know, I was trying to do my standout. I was trying to, you know, do my thing. This group were like really just trying to shit on me. You know, just trying to really put me down and make me seem like a bad person to people. It was crazy. Anyway, so Fishy Fam didn't end up working out for me because they'd kind of like taken over that project. So I was like, fuck it, I'm out. And then I found the Cosmic Cats. And anyone who hasn't seen my Cosmic Cat tattoo, I'll show you again a proper a picture of it. I did the same thing. You know, I came into the community. It was very early. I was like, this looks dope. I was connecting with everyone, talking to everyone in the Discord. And then I got whitelist. And I remember back then, I'd never got on a whitelist off any project ever. From like just talking to people and talking about my story. And I was like, this is my project. I can really get into it. started doubling down. Like I was like, I've got a whitelist for this project, like I'm gonna start doubling down. I was like typing in bold capitals on Discord, like let's run this post, and like just doing all the things you'd want someone to do for your project for free, just doing it. And of course, again, got noticed. SK, we want you to, become the Discord person. And then it was like, cool, we want you to be the CM. And this was actually my first paid role. And the reason why I got this tattoo, and this is why Cosmic Cats will always be special to me, no matter what happened. It was the first project that had ever paid me. It was like, this is what I'm gonna start doing full time. Like, I love this shit. I love the building of the communities. I love being on Spaces. I love being on Twitter. I love being on Discord. I just love doing this shit. So passion was what drove me. It was nothing to do with the money, it was the passion. And that's why that day is like documented so intensely, the day I got my tattoo, because it was the day my life changed almost again forever. That's the day I was going full-time Web3. Like, even though I was only being paid a small amount, I had a nice amount saved. So I was like, I can chill. Like, I'm getting more income coming from this now, and I'm doing what I love to do. So this is it. I'm going full-time Web3. And I was already doing my trading and stuff. So like, I was like, this is it. So this is why this tattoo will always be very special to me. And it has my name. It has my initials, SK, on this tattoo, which is crazy because I wasn't even like a big SK then. Like, and I'm still not big SK now, but like everyone knows me as SK now. And I feel like I was such a small SK. Like, no one knew me as SK back then. And that was a big monumental day that really changed my life again forever. And again, I'll always be very grateful for that opportunity and for what we did there. But again, things happen, things don't work out, and I moved on. And then we move on to my previous project, which was Moonrunners. Again, another NFT project. This one I was paid almost 3-4 times what I was getting paid at the last project. And again, another incredible opportunity that helped me set myself up to where I am today. And Moonrunners was incredible. They went up to a 0.89, which was probably over $1,000, the minimum price you could buy one for, but then came crashing down really fast. But I was the front man. I'd already knew how to do this shit previously from the last projects. So I was like, let's fucking do Spaces, let's raid this person, let's target this audience, let's do these things. Like, I was just like, I know what to do. The team, again, saw it. They saw I had the voice, I had the energy, I had the charisma, I had everything they needed, as they were anonymous. Like, they weren't at the forefront, so they needed a man to be at the forefront. We'd have 100, 200 people in Spaces. I'd held a space on their main account, had over 1,000 people in there. Some people like Farouk, Kevin Rose from Moonbirds. Now, normal people probably have no idea what I'm talking about with all this NFT stuff, and I'm sorry, this might just be absolute dribble to you. But these projects and these people who I'm talking about, Kevin Rose, Farouk, they're big people in the space, and it was a massive accomplishment. It was major accomplishment for me, and people resonated with the energy that I brought to the space. And I think this is what really hit home through doing those spaces, was the whole learning experience throughout all of these projects was that my voice is very powerful, it's very inspirational, it's very motivational. I don't mean the tone, I don't mean how I sound, I mean the way I talk, what I say, and my story. We've just come from being on the streets, being in a fucking pad in a crib, to being able to invest and make some good investment decisions to be able to set myself up better for the future. What I really learned was that I have a lot of influence when I talk, and with that comes a lot of responsibility. So I feel it's my responsibility on this journey to be able to show people exactly where I've come from to where I am today, and that it doesn't matter where you are right now, you have the ability to improve, to get better. And this is really what my, the retired Roadman came from. So the retired Roadman, that actual alias, that name, it was in my Twitter bio for the longest. I can't remember what my old handle was. In my bio, it was like retired Roadman, Spaces host, XYZ, just a bunch of shit. And I remember HBA reaching out a guy from one of these projects and saying, you need to improve that bio, bro. Like, it's a mess. Like, clean the bio up, make it look nice, and then put your name, make your name nicer. I was like, okay, cool. What can I do? Like, how can I make this better? I remember looking at this retired Roadman. I was like, I wonder if that is taken. Like, I wonder if it's a taken handle. It wasn't. And that's how the retired Roadman literally came from. I was like, it's in my bio already. I am technically a retired Roadman. Like, I've come from that life. This is where I'm going. This is where I'm at right now. I'm doing this Web3 stuff full time. So I'm technically a retired Roadman. That was where the alias was born. So people know me as SK or the retired roadman. And yeah, I guess, you know, that's kind of the story of how I got to where I am today. And I think if you can take anything from this story, it's the fact of, like I say, it doesn't matter what cards you were dealt. It doesn't matter where you are right now. It doesn't matter if you feel hopeless. It doesn't matter if you don't have any friends that have the same mentality as you. You're watching this video for a reason, whether it's due to supporting me or wanting to find out my story or wanting to find something to motivate yourself. There's a ton of great people on YouTube. There's a ton of great books that you can read into. And I'll leave a list of some books in the description and some videos to watch. But my goal as retired roadman, as SK, is to improve people's life, is to improve people's mentality, is to motivate, is to inspire. You know, I look at people like Jay Brown, JPEG Pappy for the Twitter people. He's a motivational speaker. He does trading. He's very successful. David Imanite as well, another great man to research. I see them traveling around the world, big seminars, people coming to listen to them speak and inspire them and motivate them. That is the fucking dream for me, is to be in a room full of people and just be talking this story that I'm telling you guys now, and to inspire one person, even just one, not the entire room, just one person in that room feel inspired to go out and do something, to go for a run, to learn how to trade, to take the initiative, to open a book and spend 30 minutes a day just reading, or even just to reach out and ask me for advice. Like, I don't have all the answers, but I like to feel like I can definitely give people the right advice to push them in the right direction. So with that being said, where are we going? What are we doing now? Where I'm at now, we've just moved into the new apartment. I've just secured 2 positions for 2 more NFT projects. I'm working very closely with 2 great friends of mine that I've known for a while in the space, almost since the start of my journey. I'm really fucking excited because this documentation journey, the documentation I've already done prior to this to show you guys the facts, the proof in the pudding that I was really living that life, it's going to really hopefully open your eyes. And as I say, even if I can just touch and inspire one person to just do something different, and 1% is like my motto. If you can be 1% better every day for 365 days, that compounds to 37x. If you're 1% worse every single day, it equals to like 0.03. It's like non-existent, like no change. So if you can just start to think of one thing, whether it's going to bed earlier, whether it's reading a book for 30 minutes a day, whether it's networking with someone that you see as influential, whether it's watching a YouTube video that inspires you, whether it's researching a topic that you want to learn about, there's so many things that you can do to push that needle every single day, to compound, to make yourself a better person at the end of the year. There's no excuse. There is no excuse for anyone to not be where they want to be in life. And I'm telling you that as a person who has made this living for himself. I'm nowhere near where I want to be. Nowhere near. I've got my vision board here. I've got a list full of goals to my left. I've got my diary, my organizer, my week planner, a ton of stuff that I keep by me to keep my mind in the right place, to keep me pushing towards that goal. And like I say, my goal is to be a motivational speaker, almost like a self-help, I don't want to say guru, almost like someone who helps people help themselves by inspiring you with my story and showing you that it doesn't matter where you came from or where you're at, you can change it today, right now. You don't have to wait for tomorrow. You don't have to wait for the new year. I mean, it's lucky that I'm loading these videos now because we're at the start of a new year. You have the ability inside of you. You have to dig deep, and meditation is the best way to really start that. And I know a lot of people, how do you meditate? For me, I can give you an example. When I started, I've got a note in my phone that says just start 2 minutes, cross-legged, 10 deep breaths, count them, and just breathe and just let your mind go. And just, turn off all the distractions, sit in a room. And I know, it's hard for some people, especially when you're living at home. If you're young and you live at home, your parents may be not very supportive. Your siblings might be very annoying. We have all these external things around us that can stop us reaching that goal, but you can find a way. You can go somewhere. You can go for a walk in the park and, put some headphones in and just sit on a bench. I don't know your scenario. You have to find the way. We have 24 hours in a day. We sleep for anywhere between 6 to 8 hours. And there's a ton of things you can do to improve your life and hack your life. Only you can do it. You can make every excuse you want. Oh, well, I was born with this, or I can't do it because of this. And there's a ton of reasons. I have ADHD. I didn't start driving until last year. I'm 26. I had children young. I've got 2 children. I was kicked out at 18, made homeless at 18. All these factors that I could have said, oh, woe is me. I'm just going to sit in this corner. And, I'm very black and white, and I don't like to beat around the bush. There's 2 ways you go in life. You either sit in the corner and cry like a bitch, or you use the hardship that you've gone through to make you a fucking better person. Man, woman, child. And the earlier you start that journey and the earlier you get that mentality that there's two ways to go. I feel sorry for myself and it's woe is me and oh, the world's against me and oh, what am I gonna do? And oh, nothing ever goes right for me. Or you use that exact same shit and you say, but I'm gonna fucking show everyone. And that was another big thing for me was I want to prove every motherfucker wrong that told me when I was in school, you're never going to be anything. You're just a fucking hyperactive kid and all this shit I was told. I wanted to prove those fuckers wrong. And it sounds so cliche, but it's so fucking true. And now I look at where I am and people tell me all the time, like, SK, you're a fucking inspiration. Like watching you fucking your journey and watching you grow is like incredible. But people don't do anything about it. People don't want to put the work in. You have to put the work in. Only you can do this. So I guess where we go from here and what I'm doing from here is I'm building myself an agency right now, a social media marketing agency with the help of Eman Gadsy. I'm sure hopefully some of you know him. If not, again, I'll leave one of his videos in the description for you guys to check out. So what this agency will do is it will provide a service for a certain niche. My goal in the next 2 months is to make anywhere between 5 and 10k a month, and we're gonna be walking down this road together, and I'm excited. It's scary, but it's fucking exciting, and I'm confident. I'm a very confident person. I will not let myself fail. You know, there's too many things I've set in place to allow myself not to fail. You know, I have a whole schedule set up on my iPad here. I've got the planner, I've got the week planner, I've got my notebooks, I've got people around me that I talk to and network with and mentor. You have to start today. And I hope that this video helps you in even the smallest way to give you some kind of inspiration to do something for yourself. On that note, it's been fucking incredible talking to you guys and hopefully showing you guys my journey as we grow together. And you see me from this apartment to the next apartment to the next apartment to Dubai to wherever we go. And you really see that only you have the power to change. Take care, guys.